All rise. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. This meeting of the Washington County Board of Commissioners is now in session pursuant to adjournment. The Honorable Chairman, Greg Matherly, is presiding. Come to order and remain standing.
Thank you, Sheriff. First order of business this evening is our prayer led by Commissioner Huffine, and the pledge immediately following will be led by Commissioner Wheeler.
Let's bow our head. Dear Lord, we come before you this evening with humble thanks and praise for all blessings you provide us. Thank you, Lord, for this community and its citizens that you allow us to serve. Lord, most of all, we thank you for the Christmas season, which allows us to celebrate the greatest blessing of all, the birth of your Son and our Savior, Jesus Christ. As we journey through the holiday season, Lord, guide us to demonstrate the same love you show us daily to everyone we encounter. Most of all, Lord, help us to remain faithful to you. Amen.
Amen.
Go ahead and salute our flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item is a roll call. If you make sure that you go ahead and select the screen and show yourself present here this evening. All right, we do have 3 absent. We do have a quorum present. Next item is approval of our agenda. Is there any changes to the agenda? Mayor, was there any changes on that animal control resolution, something to come up, or was there something we'd want to address on that before we
Mr.
vote?
Chairman, we presented it to the Animal Control Board, and they were not in a position to service the animals as we anticipated at the farm, and they were looking for other solutions that they had begun to pass. They asked to present their findings and their plan at their board meeting in January.
Yeah.
This might be better to take this a little bit after that.
Oh, right. So if there's no objection, we probably need to remove that resolution to consider in January. Motion to amend.
Yes.
To remove the resolution, a second by Commissioner Edens. And that is the animal control resolution that you see under the Health, Education, and Welfare Committee report. All right, any further amendments? All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda with the amendment. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes, and the agenda is approved as amended. Next item is our public comment period. Each individual that signed up for public comment will be given 3 minutes to address the board regarding the agenda items. Comments will be limited to the items that are on the meeting's agenda this evening. We had one person sign up, talked about lien relief. We do have a resolution pertaining to an independent contractor agreement. And let's go ahead and I think we should go ahead and allow that. So, Ms. Smith, if you'll come forward, give your address to the clerk. We make sure that speaker's on, okay?
Can you hear me? Okay. And I'm hard of hearing, so if people speak, could they please speak into a microphone, because it makes it difficult to hear when people don't speak in their microphone, okay?
Well, we can't really, they can't respond. This is a public comment.
Heard,
So,
no, but the mayor spoke and wasn't at a microphone, and I could not hear what he was saying.
okay.
So,
All right.
my name is Alina Smith. I reside at 345 Mount Wesley Road. I've lived there a long time. I've lived in this county a long time. I have been doing Helene relief since September 27th. Some of y'all have seen down on the 107 and the 81 and Bumpus Cove and fill them up. And some of y'all I ain't. And so on your agenda is a couple things today. And I guess maybe I only get 3 minutes, even though I'm the only one speaking, but here we go. Y'all want to approve, what is that, $1 million to be a disaster recovery funding. I hope y'all do. We need houses built. We got people without houses. We got people I'm putting in hot tents today. Today I'm putting people in hot tents because they don't have no place to go. You also have another thing on your agenda that discusses that a bid to give someone a contract. Not a lot of information on that, so I'm not sure what I can say about it. It'd be good to have more public input on some of these bids and who these people are and what they're doing. Because through Helene, we've seen people being taken advantage of. Okay? And part of the thing that I'm trying to figure out why I'm here for this public comment, because I can't figure out how to get anybody on the phone and ask questions, is why we got dumpsters down on the 107 and the 81 in the Bumpus Cove area. Y'all took them away. Now where are we supposed to throw our trash? Drive 30 minutes to go put it over there? That ain't okay, y'all. Just give us some dumpsters. Y'all got them. It don't cost you nothing. Y'all got our tax money to pay for them dumpsters. Please bring us some dumpsters to throw some things away. If you're gonna bring $1 million in here to rebuild houses, we need some dumpsters to throw our house supplies away from the houses we're tearing down. Some things this county's doing, I don't understand, and we need to figure it out together. I'm a citizen, I vote here. Just because I don't live in Bumpus Cove don't mean I don't have a word here, sir. We need to figure out what we're gonna do on Bill Mock. Y'all bringing $1 million in here. Has there been any civil engineers out there figuring out how to get these people back home? No? Okay. What are we doing about Bumpus Cove, building back that land? One man lost almost 5 acres. Are we gonna help him with that $1 million to rebuild? Like, I know the county's doing some things and it makes sense, and some of the things the county's doing is not making sense. Y'all really need to understand how bad these people are hurting. And if y'all haven't been down and driven on Bill Mock or Charlie Carson or Bumpus Cove or 81 or the 107, I highly suggest you go down there because it still looks like we are weeks behind North Carolina. Weeks. I've had people up there in Swannanoa. I've had people in Fallujah, and they come down here and look at the 107 and the Bumpus Cove and tell me it's worse than that. Where is our help? Where is our help? Where is our county? I'm putting people in hot tents. I'm putting people in campers that I have to reseal because they leak, because it's the only ones we can get. I'm feeding people out of a military tent. Where is our county? I don't know what y'all are doing, but it's not enough. It's not enough. I got hungry babies. I got hungry mamas. I've been in this county for a long time, and I ain't leaving. I'm not one of these people come here from Florida or California or anywhere else. And I'm here to hold my county accountable for what we're doing for our citizens. And if there's not going to be accountability here, and there's not going to be today, because y'all are going to give me 3 minutes and ain't going to answer no questions, there is going to be accountability. Y'all got to be voted in again.
You have reached your time, ma'am.
I highly suggest that we help our
We
community
appreciate you
because
coming.
they're the voters that are going to re-vote y'all in. And if they don't like it, they'll vote somebody else in.
All right, next item, that'll be all for our public comment this evening. We'll move right on into our, public hearings are also have no rezoning to consider this evening. Mayor, looks like we do have a proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Gracie, can you step up, please? Gracie is here from the Community Coalition. And this is a resolution recognized in January as Human Trafficking Awareness Month. So, Gracie, whereas human trafficking occurs when a person is recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, purchased, or obtained through force, fraud, or coercion for the purpose of performing labor or providing services or engaging in commercial sex acts. And whereas it is estimated that approximately 27.6 million people are trafficked around the world, and as many as 2,200 in East Tennessee alone. And whereas human trafficking erodes personal safety, dignity, and liberty, as well as the health and safety of communities at large. And whereas human trafficking does not discriminate based on age, sex, race, color, or national origin, but is, however, grounded in the inequitable conditions of relationships in society and disproportionately affects vulnerable individuals and marginalized communities. And whereas the need is great to remove the veil of secrecy that allows human trafficking to thrive, disrupt the system it depends upon to flourish, and mobilizes community support around survivors of human trafficking and help them as they seek to recover and rebuild their lives. And whereas a unified response by professionals, law enforcement, prosecutors, judges, victims, service providers, healthcare professionals, volunteers, and others is needed to provide safety, justice, and healing to survivors, hold offenders accountable, and promote the welfare of the community. And whereas the Tennessee Counter Trafficking Alliance, through the Community Coalition Against Human Trafficking in East Tennessee, exists to educate Tennesseans about the realities and pervasiveness of human trafficking, foster collaborative intervention and prevention efforts, and provide comprehensive trauma-informed aftercare services to survivors, and advocate for more proactive legislation. And whereas during Human Trafficking Prevention Month and throughout the year, Washington County has provided an opportunity to celebrate the collaboration and work that has been done while rededicating ourselves to all that is still left to do, to reflect upon and honor the resilience, perseverance, and courage of survivors, and to urge everyone to recognize that we all have to take an active role in protecting the most vulnerable in our communities and ensuring survivors receive the care, support, and services they need now, and therefore be it proclaimed by the Board of County Commissioners of Washington County, Tennessee, we do hereby recognize the month of January as Human Trafficking Awareness Month and January 11th as Human Trafficking Awareness Day, aligning with the state of Tennessee and the rest of the nation in renewing our pledge to remember victims and survivors of human trafficking and in affirming our commitment to end their exploitation in communities across Washington County. Mr. Chairman, I present this resolution to the commission for approval.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a motion to approve the proclamation. Motion by Commissioner Jones, seconded by Commissioner Huffine. Question or discussion? All in favor of the proclamation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Congratulations, Grace.
You've been proclamated. Thank you for what you do.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Gracie. I'm the Community Care Liaison with the Community Coalition Against Human Trafficking. We are a nonprofit agency. We have been appointed as a state-appointed human trafficking agency for East Tennessee. So we serve all 33 counties in East Tennessee, all the way from Chattanooga to Bristol. Our job is to serve survivors of human trafficking, no matter when or where they were trafficked, as long as they reside in the state of Tennessee during our service provision. We really appreciate you all doing this. Human trafficking is a real issue in our area. It's not what the media tends to portray it, like the movie Taken or Sound of Freedom. It looks a lot different than that. Usually traffickers are somebody that a victim knows. It's an intimate partner or a family member, an acquaintance, their employer. So this means a lot to us that you all proclaim January as Human Trafficking Awareness Month. I think it's a step in the right direction of bringing awareness to the issue. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Gracie.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, our next item is the Board of County Commissioners minutes from our November 25th meeting. We have a motion to approve. Motion by Commissioner Waxer, seconded by Commissioner Tucker to approve the minutes. Questions or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the minutes are received. The next item is under elections, appointments, and confirmations is resolution number 24-1201 is a resolution appointing members to the Washington County Public Library Board. Do we have a motion to approve? Motion by Commissioner Fitzgerald, second by Commissioner Wexler. Question or discussion?
I have a question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, please. Go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote. 12 yes, 3 absent, and the resolution passes. The next item is the county mayor's report. Mayor Green.
Good evening and Merry Christmas, everyone. A couple of things that just wanted to mention tonight real quickly. First, the audit report from the comptroller of the state of Tennessee has issued his audit to the county. It's available. I think it came to you in the form of an email. I've had a chance to look at it, but that audit revealed 0 findings for county government. All of the office holders, as well as general administration, apparently performed a little bit better and pretty well last year, and were rewarded with we'd like to call a clean audit. There were a couple of small findings in other department, but didn't have anything to do with county government, and it was a really good report. So if you have issues with insomnia, just download that document and start through it. It's a really piece of work. Next, I just wanted to say, while things aren't perfect just about anywhere, we had one of the most inspiring and emotional events last week as we dedicated one of the ASP houses that your very own Commissioner Tucker, under his leadership and with his team, put together, and from start to finish put this family, these 90-year-old couple, in a home from start to finish in 5 weeks. It's pretty amazing. And Commissioner Tucker, through a lot of his own dedication and time and money, reached out personally and furnished the house. Some of that came back as people learned about it and are responding. But it coupled that with Eastman Credit Union stepping up at the same time and committing their largest single donation ever to ASP of $1 million, which will build another 30 homes at least. Not all in Washington County, but across the region that they serve, that ASP is working on. ASP currently has close to 200 applications, so there's huge need, not only in Washington County, but in Carter and other counties. So they're actually working. We have a group of builders that have really, from week one, stepped up and said, look, we want to participate. And they've gone out and they've got building supplies, committed, materials, and personally are building homes. So Jeff Spears has built a house, Ron Googe is involved, I'll leave people out. I run Commissioner Tucker, and we have other commissioners, Commissioner Malone, Commissioner Huffine are part of this long-term recovery group that is helping people get back on their feet and it restarted in a really tough place down there. So again, it was and on Thursday we're dedicating the next ASP house, which is, I think it's on Hill Circle, but it's at the other end of the valley. So working hard. It's a long process. We knew that from the beginning. It's going to take a while, but people will come back. So just really quickly, I asked James Hanson just be with us tonight. James, maybe bring Carolyn. So James, you probably know James. He's with Burleson Construction. He works with us on a lot of projects, and as you know, we have tasked Burleson with the management component of the long-term recovery group. It's 8 different committees that focus on, each committee obviously focuses on something different. And so James is he and Carolyn and the Burleson organizational team are helping bring structure to a generally chaotic activity. So James, you may want to say a couple of words. I just thought if anyone had questions of him or what the long-term recovery group is doing now and what they plan to do, he knows.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess just starting off, I wanted to give you guys a brief overview of the process and how it's working. He mentioned, Commissioner Alfina Malone are part of the team, and they're on the navigator side of it, where the navigators, you can, is also referred to them as case managers. They're the ones that are reaching out and making the connections and compiling these list of needs. The list of needs then are coming into us, and we've got 9 committees that range from legal advocacy, communications, construction, emotional and spiritual support, finance, home furnishings, volunteers. We're dispatching these needs to each of these groups to get the need met. Some of these needs are coming in, obviously may touch 2 or 3 different of these committees, where you're in construction at the beginning, but then you're going to an unmet needs because you need a washer and dryer or whatever that didn't come with the construction aspect of it. So that's kind of a brief overview. I wanted to give you guys a brief kind of what's been done in the last 3 weeks since this has started. ASP has taken in 90 applications in Washington County alone. They've got 2 homes completed, 13 under construction, 1 under renovation, and 4 that are just pending septic. Habitat for Humanity has 1 application for their services. We're setting up for lack of a better term, career fair. Since FEMA's time runs out on January the 6th, we're going to take FEMA out in the community one more time with the building department, with TDEC for septic, with a vaccine clinic, just to get one last opportunity for people who haven't been out to get on their list and to not fall through the cracks. We've set up an office in the Murritan parking lot at Lamar that we've got 1 to 2 people at all times during business hours that will be staffing that office for people who can come directly there to express their concerns or their needs. So that's a quick version of it. I guess if you guys have any questions of us.
Commissioner Will?
As a navigator, a little, I guess maybe concerned, but we don't know, when we're talking to the people we're dealing with, they're telling us that everything's okay, they've got everything done. We don't have anybody to know that, so I think there's a little bit of a gap, communication gap there, where the navigators, we pass along that sheet, but we don't know anything back yet.
Right.
We're creeping up on that January deadline, and so like we're worried about, our 3 people, are they really okay as far as getting treatment at Buckle? We don't have any way to know that except for them to tell us they own.
Yeah, they just have to be registered with FEMA. The cases don't have to be finalized. As long as FEMA has their name in the system with an open case, that's all the January 6th deadline cuts off.
Is there any way for us to know that they are, they're okay there, that they got that done?
Pardon?
Should be a question.
Yeah, I mean,
You're asking.
you're asking the question and they're telling you yes or no.
Yeah, but we can tell, some of them, we're not sure that is correct, but they know exactly what we're talking about. So there's no way for us to push, hey, actually, you need to still go and do this, if we don't know that. We got the same problem with needs, but needs, I understand needs will come. It's hard when you're wanting to advocate for somebody and you don't have anybody to talk to about it, but we get it. But what we're worried about is that deadline pass and they fall through the cracks because we didn't know to tell them, no, you're really not okay yet. You got to go get registered for this.
So the FEMA people have been physically housed in a gate. And that was their entire mission. For the first, well, up until then, each 4 people registered because every FEMA person that I've spoken with from state one said, as long as they're in the system, they have registered, it's very simple. Online, they can do the phone. We had people down there.
They're still down there. They're in Cherry
Consider, but when it's still Cherry Road, this is on Friday. And they will be there until the 7th. And we will do some sort of meeting, let's try to get people there, but feel like every person that has, that was in a house that was identified that had any sort of damage has been touched by a FEMA person.
Mhm.
You know,
Whether or not that homeowner chose to sign up or not.
Right.
so, yeah.
So they've had the opportunity, we don't need to be concerned about, they do not have had it.
And that's what we're doing with this one last blitz is the time has come. Here is your last opportunity to get signed up.
Commissioner Huffman?
Yeah, just, I want to say I've had the opportunity, several meetings in the last few weeks and more on a regional basis. People are touching all the counties in the Northeast and, you know, really from a consensus, thanks to Mayor's leadership, EMA, James Carroll. Washington County is recognized as best in class right now, putting together this long-term recovery team and servicing the members of the community. Is it functioning at a level that we would all hope? Absolutely not. But there's not a magic wand that we can wave and make that happen at light speed like we would like for it to. You know, my request, and I think would be James's as well from the community, is that you provide your support, however that may be, whether that's working with people, saying the prayers, some financial support. Love to the people that are down there impacted, and then finally, some patience. This is a difficult situation, and it does take patience, and that's why there's a long-term recovery group in place. We have recognized this ain't gonna be a month, 6 months, a year, 2 years. This may be 5 years before we get people back to where they were on September 26th. But that's the goal, is to get people back to where they were or as close as we possibly can on September 26th. So please bring concerns forward, but patience is definitely a component of this. Build a house in today's environment in 5 weeks.
I would like to thank you for that, but it was really the people that worked for me done it. I don't know if they're in the good Lord above. So,
Amen.
I just turned 63 last week. I'll tell my age, but that was the biggest blessing to me doing that than it was for them. So I appreciate that, but it wasn't for me. It was for them and the community. It just happened to be a road that she mentioned. It was on Bill Mock Road. Thank you, Mayor.
One question.
Yeah, so when we have, I mean, you know, with people in tents, campers and stuff like that, do we have any source of saying this is where our people are that's displaced? And then kind of keep up with that and say, okay, after 3 months, this is the number of people that are displaced. Be able to show a measure that we're moving forward. Because I feel like we are in Commissioner, I was been down there like just about every one of you. The people down there are amazing. That's first and foremost that I think of. But if we had that measurement, that measuring stick, I think would go a long way. And maybe we have it.
No, we're real close. Give 24 to 48 hours.
Awesome.
There was a meeting today that recognized that is the next iteration, if you will, in this process is defining the metric and having weekly updates, how we are progressing. as we sat down and reviewed, we noted a lot of things that we had accomplished, but we had not formally tracked it, so that will be forthcoming. I think FEMA, the last I've heard, is 2 to 3 weeks away from delivering some much needed trailers that are committed, so the people that are in those situations should be resolved. You know, there's, again, I'm probably one of the most frustrated people out here. I want it done yesterday, but we're getting there, and point well taken, that metric will be forthcoming.
And I see
And I think
that,
that maybe is a fair request for us to bring back on a monthly
and
basis.
this is a whole lot more drastic than water projects and things like that. However, when you're able to put that measuring stick out, and even though you've not gotten to, you personally haven't received it, but you need it, and you see it's coming, seems to help. That's great.
I can give you one component of that from the navigator's perspective, and just a little over a week, we contacted about 40% of the people that we had on our list. Now, let me clarify contact. You know, that's talking to and documenting that here's your needs, you know.
But that's a part of
it. Yeah. So I will say that's a metric that I'm very proud of. I think that's a major accomplishment to do that in a week. You've got people dispersed, and it's a challenge. But yes, sir, absolutely. I think the other thing moving forward when we talk about is as we make progress, we need to document, debrief, and have a plan in place for the next event that happens. Not if. We know we will have some event that this process will be able to benefit. So have that in place. Working on that.
I think this is just a little bit anecdotal, but first I wanted to say thank you for what you're doing. I know you yourself were impacted personally by the storm, and so you're dealing with that, but also trying to help others. And I know part of what Burleson's role is to, match needs with resources. And just anecdotally, I ran into the director of the Holston Habitat for Humanity today. She expressed a little frustration in the sense that they have some financial resources available for folks to repair homes. And I think she mentioned that they're working on repairing 4 now. And she was saying that we've got these resources, I'd like to get them out there sooner rather than later. And so just an FYI that, there are those financial resources there to help folks who can, repair their home that was damaged.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And I think on the list that have come in, there's been 1 or 2 that have been directed to, there's 2 or 3 groups that do what she does, and they all have a different application process. But I think she has actually only received 1 Washington County application to date.
But I will
Thanks
take
again for what you're doing.
that information was passed on to Navigators last week because there is a deadline for part of that funding at the end of the year. So
Well, it's similar to ASP, they're dealing with more than just Washington County.
that's right, absolutely.
Mr. Jones?
James, thank you for everything you've done. And the update's been great. Is there money coming into the long-term recovery effort? Or is it just a coordination effort of nonprofits that have their own funding sources?
Both.
Okay,
The nonprofits have several grants and funding sources amongst themselves. We've actually met with our fiscal agent, and they're gonna take up donations for long-term recovery for the one-off things. The porch. I don't need a home builder. I don't need an entire renovation. But this porch gets this person back into their house, so we can go buy that. A lot of that funding is coming through the churches.
and is that, you're not a nonprofit, so how is that? Is there some transparency about those funds, or how are you handling that piece of the funding side? There's, I stepped in it. What- Well, I mean, since Burleson is just a private company, I just wondered how you were gonna handle that piece of it.
That's why we're using the fiscal agent to hold the money.
Oh, the fiscal agent being the mayor.
No.
Sorry, you were.
You're the fiscal agent.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Okay,
We use the first.
I'm just making this worse and worse, but,
First Tennessee Development District is
okay,
officially.
that answers my question. Great, appreciate it.
James, we appreciate you coming tonight. We do. And please feel free to know that you're more than welcome to come anytime. You got an open spot here. We would like to hear reports back pretty regular. I'm sure this commission would. I think there's a lot of interest there. And I know we want to make sure things are taken care of there, no matter what. And please, if you have any needs that you run up on, that we can help immediately. Don't ever hesitate to come back to this commission. I think you here tonight, they want to do whatever it takes to help our folks there. And I think they will, but sometimes we got to know. So we appreciate you coming tonight, and Mayor, thank you for bringing him. And if we could just find out, have some more routine reports. These are very interesting, just like Commissioner Davenport talked about. How many people do need homes, and you're in the front line of that every day, and we appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
As I mentioned, James was one of those that was in the flood. I appreciate Commissioner Lane, your comments there, because there have, from the very beginning, there have been donations going to churches and other organizations. United Way is one of them. That is, so there are funds available. The challenge was trying to match up the needs with the resources, which is exactly what James and his team and the navigators, you and Commissioner Wheeler, I apologize for not knowing you were a navigator, but thank you. And everybody is, and that's the whole point. But I just, we in the community need to be really very grateful to this body. You all are very caring, you're very supportive, and you have been from day one focused on trying to help these people in a very difficult situation. So I thank you personally, and community needs to thank you. Also, as James mentioned, it really is important. We've got a little bit of a blitz going between now and the 7th of January, when the DRC, Disaster Recovery Center, where the FEMA people are, and Cherry Grove Church will be closing. And after January the 7th, it will be very, very, very difficult to get someone signed up for services. And so we're going to go out and anybody that you know that you think might help spread that word. I think we're going to have people down in the community doing some door-to-door, any number of things. But if they're signed up, and there's several ways to do that, then they'll be able to receive help from the FEMA people going forward, whatever help that they can provide. If they're not signed up after the 7th, it's going to be very difficult to get them in. So I will stop there. The last thing I have is, I was going to pass this out, but we got stuck in the back just for a minute. I'll leave them up here. This is a debt report, and so we have to provide this information, need to provide this information to y'all. It merely is a summary of the money that we borrowed from the state of Tennessee at zero interest for the town of Jonesboro in their water rebuilding projects. So as you know, they restored water over to the folks there within a week, which is pretty incredible. And oddly enough, the next project on Commissioner Gavin's board list was Jackson Bridge. That's one of the bridges that actually survived. And so they just last week took bids on the bridge crossing itself, which is really kind of a challenging part. Our crew is laying water lines to the bridge, and then from the bridge into their system on the other side, help reinforce the water over there on that side of the river, which you may recall is also furnishing water into the Chuckey system. So it's really it's just a report, but anyway, it's there for you. So, that's it for me. Sorry it took so long, but it's, again, thank you, and thank you for all you do, and thank you for the support. Thank you for the great work you do for Washington County. Any questions before I get out of here?
Just one thing, Mayor, I'd like to recognize what a good job on that audit. I don't think we've had several years, we've not had a finding on the county side. Appreciate everybody's hard work on that. I know officials and your staff has worked very hard on that, so we appreciate doing that, and can't wait to start reading on that thing in a moment. But it's just great to know that on the county side, I think it's the first year we've not had a finding. So just to recognize that. The county attorney's report is our next item on the agenda.
Thank you. I'm going to stand up so I can see all of you. Every month, I always say, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But on the heels of the mayor, I wanted to share that debt report is submitted to the governing body pursuant to statute, and that will be recited in your minutes. And he was referencing Resolution 241118 that you approved last month with the interlocal with the town of Jonesboro. So we'll give all that to the county clerk, and that's just being submitted per statute. But the reason I wanted to stand up and say something is that it's been the tradition that in addition to having the privilege of serving as counsel to all of the elected officials and the department heads of Washington County, that includes the county commission. And so for the years that I've been the county attorney, every year in December, as we're looking forward to the new year, the new calendar year, I've looked back at the year before to share with you the work that you've done. And just very quickly, I wanted to summarize for you that you have considered 233 resolutions in calendar year 2024. Your highest resolution month was in the month of August with 31 resolutions, and the smallest packet is tonight with a 6 resolution count. So I wish you a Merry Christmas on behalf of the paralegal and myself. It is a privilege to be of service, and every day we are grateful for that opportunity. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilkinson. Next item is the Director of the Health Department. Director Butterfield, are you here this evening? I don't see her here. Director of Schools report, Director Boyd.
No written report this month. We'll resume in January. But just want to make myself available if you have any questions on any topic that I can answer questions. If not, I just wish all of you Merry Christmas to your family. And look forward to working with you in 2025.
All right, Merry Christmas. I just want to say, if you have not gotten out to the high school to see the just the remodel, I don't know what it is in the cafeteria. It's amazing that even high school cafeteria. I just want to say, wow.
The staff was able to use grant funds to
Space.
make that area more inviting for the students and even more functional.
It doesn't even look like the same cafeteria.
It's very nice.
It's nice.
They did a good job. Thank you.
All right, we will move right on down to the Employee Compensation and Benefits Committee report. You'll see the minutes there for that meeting. Is there any questions? Seeing none, we'll move right on to the Health, Education, and Welfare Committee report to Commissioner Carter. You must have knew he had the biggest agenda this evening. So Commissioner Jones.
Great. You can see the minutes from the December 4th Hugh meeting on page 22. And tonight we just have one resolution, that's number 241202. Resolution approving rebudgeting of school security upgrades for $3,500,000 to amend the fiscal year 25 budget for Educational Capital Projects Fund and authorizing $1,479,500 for the construction of security entrance upgrades at Daniel Boone and David Crockett High School. It's on page 72, and it comes with a recommendation from the committee. I'll move for its approval.
Motion made by Commissioner Jones to approve the resolution, seconded by Commissioner Edens. Question or discussion?
All the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, go ahead and cast your vote, lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 12 yes, 3 absent, the resolution passes. Anything else, Commissioner Jones?
That's all I have.
Yes. You'll find the Safety Committee report. Director Haney may not be with us this evening, but you'll find the report of the November 19th Safety Committee on page 81. The next item is the Budget Committee report. Commissioner Haney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You'll find minutes to our last meeting on December 5th. On page 83, we have no resolutions from the report. Tonight. So, I will be available to answer any questions.
I think that could be a first for the Budget Committee. I think it's gotta be. All right, any questions for Commissioner Haney? Seeing none, we will move right on to old business, which will have none to report. We do have notaries. Resolution 24-1204 is a resolution approving the election of notaries public for appointment and or reappointment for Washington County, Tennessee. Do I have a motion? Mr. Wexler, moves to approve, seconded by Commissioner Jones. All in favor of that motion to approve the resolution, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Just seeing if you are checking up on that. Madam Clerk, let's switch to the voting screen, do that the right way. I went back a few years. Did you notice that, Commissioner Wheeler?
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate that.
Flashback.
Yeah, flashback is what it was, yes. Yes. Matthew was the cause of that. He wanted to know if we wanted to vote today. He's got me off track. All right, that's 12 yes, 3 absent, and the resolution passes. We do have a couple of items for new business. The first item is resolution 24-1205 is a resolution approving and authorizing an independent subcontractor agreement between Washington County, Tennessee, and Debbie Clark. We have a motion. Motion by Commissioner Tavita, second by Commissioner Davenport to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
All the question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch to the voting screen, go ahead and cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 12 yes, 3 absent, the resolution passes. Next item is resolution number 24-1206 is a resolution approving and authorizing requests for NOFA 2024 homeowner rehabilitation, East Tennessee Disaster Recovery Grant funding in the amount of $1 million to be administered by the Tennessee Housing Development Agency. Do you have a motion? Motion by Commissioner Tucker, second by Commissioner Jones to approve the resolution. Question or discussion?
All question.
Question's been called. Madam Clerk, if you'll switch us to the voting screen, cast your vote and lock it in. Madam Clerk, if you'll announce the vote, 12 yes, 3 absent, the resolution passes. Several announcements this evening. Remember to thank, just a minute, Mary Ellen, would you come up here just a minute, podium?
Y'all get right on.
We thought we'd have a Christmas roast here for Mary Ellen.
Thank you.
Mary Ellen, I just had to stop just a minute to tell you how much we really appreciate you. You know, we're gonna be losing you here at the end of December, you tell us. It won't be for the lack of us trying to keep you, but we sure do appreciate all you've done and you continue to do. And I couldn't let the night go by without thanking you publicly, what a good job you've done and how much we appreciate all you've done for us. A lot of times not everybody knows what you do, and I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure working with each and every one of you. I've gotten to work with each of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. several years ago back, I do want to remind you, Mike Ford passed away, several years ago, and thought a lot of Mike, and he was a good commissioner, represented his district very well. And there was nothing more he enjoyed than coming here to the county commission and serving his community. One thing Mike did every Christmas was to make a meal, and we all participated in bringing something. And when Mike passed away, his family carried on the tradition of doing that. The Swifty Pig, it was a name that Mike thought of for the Swifty Pig restaurant there in Sulphur Springs. And his nephews have continued on with that and picked it up and made it a reality of what Mike wanted to always do. So remember tonight, Swifty Pig has some interesting barbecue samplings downstairs for you. And if you're here tonight and would like to try some Swifty Pig, come on downstairs and enjoy that with us. Anything else, Mayor, that you wanted to talk about?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And we do want to remember the cutoff date, January 16th. The county attorney may be out of the office for a day or two during the time between Christmas and New Year's. So may the commission chairman may be in the same situation. So we appreciate you all. And but if you have something for the agenda, make sure it gets in by the 16th at 12 noon. All right, we have a motion to adjourn. Motion by Commissioner Wexler, seconded by Commissioner Edens to adjourn. All in favor of adjourning, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed.